Oh, wow, I'm up close. Okay. Okay, hi. So, I just wanted to report that things are really starting to come along with Mappdom, and I'm so excited, and I'm really glad that I'm, doing this journal of the whole company unfolding. And I went downstairs. I don't have my whiteboard yet, but I went downstairs and I realized that now that I have interns coming in, I sort of have to explain to them who Mappdom is, and I have to explain our vision and how we got here and what we do. And that is just so big. I didn't know how to, compress it all. So I went downstairs, and because I don't have my whiteboard, I just took a whole bunch of 8.5 by 11s and some sticky tape, and I just pasted the walls with paper, and I wrote everything down. So I took pictures of that, and I'll include it. I was going to make a video, but I ran out of time. Anyway, but this is good because it gives me a chance to go over it and process it and formalize it and kind of, just sear it into my head. It was so funny because I went there at 7:15, and I said, "Is the boardroom booked?" And she said, "No, it's open only for 45 minutes right until 8 o'clock. So, you know what? I had to hustle, and it was good because I got it done in 45 minutes. Otherwise, I would have taken much longer. Okay. It's a beautiful day outside, by the way. I'm so happy. I'm so energized because there is the sun, and I can't wait to go and live somewhere nice and sunny and just have my online internet business. I'm so excited. And yeah, lots of great things going on. So I went downstairs and I sort of wrote overall, the whole thing about Mappdom is just that we want to help. Then I got into a little bit of history and me and how I've always wanted to help. And then there's the whole Nakimbe thing, the whole how did Mappdom come to be. So just the evolution of Mappdom, the evolution of Nakimbe, the evolution of just me in business. And then I outlined who are the people we want to help. So we want to help small businesses and entrepreneurs. And then I wrote how and why. We want to help them how, we want to help them why, because I completely was there and I understand. We also want to help freelancers because we believe in freedom and people not being tethered to a desk and being at home. And just because they don't know how to market themselves doesn't mean that they don't deserve an opportunity to help people and offer their services. So we wanted to connect them because they don't know how to market themselves, but we have the demand and we can give them business, that feels really, really good. We also want to help MLMers because, again, how and why, I was one, and it's not all that it's cracked up to be. So I wanted to create a company that offered a really great, viable opportunity that there was no competition for in the marketplace. And then now, most recently, really helping interns to get some practice and to also not be tethered to a desk and, and to pay them and to teach them this because a lot of clients are coming on board. And I want to teach this to the interns so that I no longer have to do everything by myself, but I can ensure that the quality and standards and the process, it's going to be like McDonald's, that everything has to be standard and there has to be a process for everything so that it's duplicatable and replicatable across locations. And then I also got the MLM aspect of it sort of worked out, but that's going to be a whole other video. So those are the people that we want to help: small business owners, freelancers. We want to help interns and MLMers. And then so there are a whole bunch of different categories under each of those. So that was pretty good. And then I'm going to explain to them the whole process. And that's part of what this video is about right now, is just sort of explaining the process and how Mappdom came to be. So I kind of grew up in the old IM world with SEO and page ranking and page rank and funnels and links and PPC, AdWords and and AdSense and all that kind of stuff. That's the kind of world that I grew up in. Email marketing also, and webinars, I guess. And so my daughter also happens to be a marketing genius. And so I was telling her about the way that I was going to promote Mappdom, and I was going to have a lead magnet and collect names and have an email series and have a video sales letter. And she was just like, yeah, snore, boring, because part of our business is also attracting younger people and millennials for the network marketing part of the business. So she's like, yeah, that's never going to work. That's not how things work with us. She taught me about virality and media and growth hacking and quote cards and social media and dark posts and this whole other world. And I was like, what? So we decided, well, we were just going to cover both worlds. We were just going to cover both markets. And so unlike any other marketing company out there, Mappdom really covers the entire spectrum of marketing from A to Z with no parts left incomplete. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to write about, how it came to be, her stuff and my stuff, and then we just had to lay all of that out. So in terms of virality, what's shareable, having really great quote cards, and that meant that we needed to really get into some branding and who I am and who Nakimbe is and the message that we want to get out there. And she also said no, and also you have to do podcasts. So, when we started to think about all the things that we needed to do, video and podcasting and virality and hacking and all, you really start to think about your campaign in a completely different way. Because it's manipulation. You have to do it ahead of time, ahead of the game. So yeah, that's basically, I guess I would say, the Mappdom method. We just kind of sit back and take a look at who I am and, the brand, and everything sort of grows from that part. And it's super, super, super exciting. Excuse me, to see this whole thing unfold. So now that I've started that part, I guess what I have to do is start to actually systematize is like my word now, but I have to lay out the process and say how we're going to do everything. So yeah, that's just sort of how Mappdom came to be. And outlining all of the different parts and then coming up with a value for that work. And it takes a lot of work to dig that deep. It's not just a one-time thing. It's a lot of work. So excited.